Hello, people. So today I'm going to do the dreaded Limbo and start trying to learn his kit. So first of all, I think I need to get him some premature footage so he can't fall on his ass. Because, if he falls on his ass, he's going to be fucked. I think we need to give him some nourish or something like that. You know how I roll. We've got some shield gating to give him an extra layer of survivability until, I master the in and out of the void. Now, be easy on me, folks, because this is my first day trying Limbo and he's very hard to play. So I think what will go shards wise is probably casting speed. I can't think of what else you would really need because he's got astronomical multiplicative damage with Rift Torrent, I believe. I believe it's multiplicative. We'll find out. We'll know by the levels of damage in a minute. I suppose you could get more strength. You could maybe give him health pickups. Now he regens energy, does he? So, right, what we'll do is we'll leave one free. We'll leave one free. We'll give him as much strength as we can. We want a big range so far, so we'll give him as much strength as we can right now. We'll leave one free. Right, where's our nourish? So we'll leave one free, and then if we could drop our equilibrium. Fuck it, that's what we'll do. We'll drop our equilibrium, and we'll put a purple shard in for energy sustain. Yeah, we can lose the equilibrium. We could probably drop refresh spite actually. So we could give him corrosive projection, but does he really need it? Sprint boost. Fuck. I don't know what to give him really. We'll give him energy because he gets how much energy in the void? Energy slowly recharges in the rift. Each enemy killed there also gives 10 energy. So that should give us enough energy sustain paired with our if we give him auger reach, we should shield get enough with that. Now we've got a decent range. Now we can fit in premature food in a minute. Put that down there actually. Yeah, put that down there. Then we'll be able to free up that to what we want it to be. Or we could go energy nexus and drop that maybe, but we'll want the range. So we'll give him in his aura. We'll give him brief respite. He's going to definitely have enough to full shield get every time now, without relying on anything else for survivability as we go in and out of the void and stuff. Should be fine. We'll get prime sure footed in there once we get something overextended. And then I think he's going to need golden. I think this is going to work pretty well. We've got arcane hotshot for more critical chance since we'll be relying on weapons to deal damage. Got molten augmented to boost up our strength even more. So, we're getting a whopping 47% damage increase on each enemy in the rift. So that's going to be pretty strong. So let's go and play around with this. He's got nourish now. I believe that influence goes through the void, so we'll give that a go. Swap this to that. And we'll see how we get on. I'm sure we'll do fine. Fuck, I built this today when I didn't even need to build it. That was stupid. So we've got enough format to toy around and play with Limbo.
Ever go to leave the house and you can't find your keys and you're like, where did I put my keys? And you end up looking everywhere.
Void Armageddon. Isolation Vault bounties.
Don't put your keys in the freezer.
Damn medallions, fuck that. Complete a net resell. We'll go do an net resell. Once I get a bit more confident, we'll go do the weeklies. We've got here. We've got Spy. No way we're doing the Spy because they're just disgusting and I've got no reason to do the Spy. So let's go into something hardcore. Let's go into Conjunction Survival. Let's see if this is the best way. Just throw myself in the deep end. And then if I get on okay with Limbo today, dare I say I'll do a level cap with them tonight. But I know that it's disruptive for teammates. They might not want me to do Limbo. So I know they don't like it when we banish these enemies into the void. So we'll see how we get on. Might need to go small range Limbo. Just shield gate with them. Right, now if we go in here, we're safe, yeah? Yeah, we're safe. So we'll go in here. Yeah, they can't hurt us. Oh. But then I can't banish that, you're right, so... Get rid of these assholes. Now, I wish the actual world would go the energy colour when we're in the void, because it's a bit hard for me to tell when I'm in it and when I'm not in it. If they made everything go pink, then I would understand things a bit better. So am I in it or not? No, I'm not in it. So now we want to go Cataclysm, that. Now we want to go Stasis. Now we're completely safe and we can kill. And that's when you really see how much damage this dude can do. It's ridiculous. And we want to kind of stay in here. Stasis them, Rift Surge them. Now these dudes with the pink around them I know we can kill. Now that's what I like, that when I can actually see who I've marked. And kind of understand it that way. Now things are taking a bit more shape. Dare I say I'd probably even want more range in this if I could get it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fit more range into this. The Hound's going ham with that extra damage. And we're managing our energy quite well with Limbo, as long as we remain inside here. If I cast this, for example. Look at that, the Hound's going crazy. Now we've lost energy, but look at our energy regen. It's not bad. Stasis these assholes. But I can definitely see the appeal to Limbo in solo play. I definitely see it. I'm already starting to grasp him a little bit better than I thought I would. Eximus aren't really an issue because we can chew through the overguard easily. So, you know, like Vauban, the great thing about this already that I'm noticing from a layman that's looking in through the glass, we have insane survivability. Because the minute that we banish these people into the void and then stasis them, we've really got no survivability issues. It's very, very easy. Now pairing us with Arc on Stretch and Limbo's passive energy regen, we're doing pretty good for energy sustain. We don't even have a purple shard in just now, and I think once we've got that purple shard in, we're going to be golden. So our damage is pretty good. 211 million. an insane level of damage this dude's doing. I'm really impressed already. You know, our Hound can just chew through Overguard, so the Eximus really aren't a threat at all. Now, Violence, he might be an issue for us. I've never experienced Violence, so with Limbo, it could be an issue. Maybe not. Oh, did we freeze him? It's not an issue anymore, anyway. Here's my little buddy, my little homie. So, yeah, the damage is here. I can definitely see the potential with this. Stasis everybody, and then, you know, you got no threat. I shouldn't have slept on Limbo as much. Now I'm in a different plane of existence. Now we're okay now. Keep up our Rift Surge, keep up that. There we go. The fact that they can just kind of sit there fucking stasis and the Hound can, you know, spread status effects on these people that are stasis. I never thought of that we could just do a pure pet build with Limbo, you know, by just controlling these enemies to freeze them, right? And then you can have the Hound just do insane fucking ability damage like this until it ticks around the whole room. Because they can't be damaging the Hound. Watch this, look, and then we can just tick like that into the absolute millions. So there's definitely a lot of fun potential to be held here now. I was getting extremely bored with Warframe lately, as I've made pretty obvious in anybody that watches my videos. But now that I'm starting to open my mind up and get into Limbo, and it's giving me a new lease of life in the game, I'm not going to deny it. I'm getting optimistic about this today. So, along with Equinox as well, it's another person I could maybe start to try more. You know, I've done the nuke build with Equinox. So I'll try and get into it. Now, if I stasis these people here, am I going to get time to revive the dogs safely? Nice. Now that's pretty cool. Now we do another big Cataclysm, another Rift Surge, another Stasis. Now the Hound's going to do his thing, he's going to tick all that really crazy damage. Now we can get out of here. So no issues from just survivability so far. But we're doing not bad. Now let's get out of here and have a look at a few more things. Let's get him Prime Sure Food. So we get the potential to shield gate off of his stasis very easily. Yeah, we can just cast stasis to shield gate anytime we need to. So we're going to have no survivability issues. We just need to master getting in and out of the rift. I might just give him... yeah, I could drop Brief Respite into the energy. The energy regen mod in there, and then that paired with our already decent energy regen in the Rift Energy Nexus, and then we could maybe give him a cast and parkour velocity shard. I'm definitely impressed with how he plays. Impressed with that damage. So my friend is wanting this Garuda Talons, which I don't blame him because Garuda is another fucking mental frame. So what have we got here? Oh shit, we can't upgrade that till we take off this, right? So we could go Afflictions. I could tell him to go Afflictions. We go this way. But obviously the best way to be would be just pure electric. if you're going to do anything with her anyway.
When in cetus, do not drink the kombucha. You are incapable of producing the hydraulic effort required to unstick your tongue from the roof of your mouth the following morning. Ready to kick bottom.
You okay?
And who dies today?
Capybara. Capybara. Play around with some glaives and melee influence. That was one ugly glaive skin. And this Limbo's really ugly. We're going to need to get him a skin because he's just horrible. Looking like a dimensional pervert.
A look that says I have arrived.
We'll give him green because I think green suits going in and out of crazy stasis type fucking alternate universes more so than pink. That's a bit cooler already. A better style Dana would suit him, but I don't know what to give him because everything doesn't look too technological for him. Suppose that's quite cool. It's like he's unplugged from something. So, refresh by auger reach. Got decent range, decent strength. We'll eventually get him some Tau shards. And in the last place here, I think we should give him this health pickups. So let's try the survival here, see if I'm getting on any better now. Then we'll get prime sure footed in.
deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic?
The murmur aims to choke you out. Not today. Preparing a life support capsule.
You found a fissure. Look out for reactants.
So we just let our hound kill till we get enough energy, then we can get involved in the fight, which is quite nice.
Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open that relic.
Get our hound some overguard from safety, and then let him tick some kills till we get enough energy. We should be golden. That's an energy fuel now. You know, we can go in the big room, past this, past there's 3, stasis these assholes. Hound's got overguard. He's going to tick crazy damage away for us too. I'm starting to think we really don't need Malt Augmented. We could go Arcane Hotshot and go Fire Rate.
Capsule incoming! Use it well. They're expensive.
Our damage is pretty crazy.
Enough reactants to open the relic.
I really need to get this Prime Sure-Footed in. You stasis this assholes. No, I don't think so. I'm missing this. I need to get some overguard. Pawn Hound. Give us some overguard.
Sending another capsule. grown trees, you know.
158 million. But it's level cap worthy damage. Anything above 14 is going to kill anything in the game. I'm struggling a bit here with this fucking Eximus boss. Of course, I can't get any of these guys because they're fucking in the void. That's annoying as fuck.
You keep fighting, and I'll keep bleeding. When you are ready to return, the sanctum...
Can't deny the damage capabilities we have here though.
Here we go. This is what I signed up for.
But one issue is going into your operator, trying to survive by doing that. So, a bit of an issue there with reviving if I go down.
Strike to win, to lessen pain.
Come on. Let's at least pretend this mess can still work. I am going to see him again. I hear his voice sometimes. Say the word, and I shall break your arcanes down into phosphor. Out with the old, eh, Tenno? Will there be anything else, Tenno? Good condition. Shouldn't take long to dissolve. Ah, a splendid result. Our service is but a shadow of yours. When what company is always welcome.
What do these do? Oh!
Got enough blues, I definitely don't need that. We've got an Arrow's Banshee Nova. We can go an Arrow's with. We go a Narrow's Kreska Influence, maybe? No, because it's got heat in it. We go Nova.
May our sacrifice be forever unknown. With me, friends.
We're gonna have to go Nova, Cyclone, Tetra. It's gonna be a good combo, I suppose. We'll give this a go quickly, get this done. Go Fortifier on this for a bit of extra survivability. Heat corrosive magnetic. Don't even think we need the corrosive in this because we'll just do so much damage already. More heat. Want some critical chance on this. So 60% with magnetic as well. Perfect. Fortifier, heat, magnetic. What else could we put in here? I don't think there's much else we really want in this. Maybe radiation. A bit more fire rate. This once we get. So we're going to put that in there, and then we're going to put in. I don't believe fulmination changes anything, so we'll put in fire rate, multi-shot, apply more heat dots. Better choice. So the Cyclone, ugly looking thing. Tetra, beautiful gun. And then we'll go. So that's got 12% status chance. It's got 40% status chance. So we'll take this and we'll go influence, spam. So we'll drop that. We don't really care about that. Where's our Riven? So our Riven's. there. No, we should be a bit better for modding space right now. Stick that in, get a bit of electric in, then we should be golden. Now, where is it? Not that we'll need to really use this much anyway. Take, so now we've got a decent amount of start chance. We're going to proc influence based on every slam now. We roll this ribbon to be a lot better too. I'm going to put this in here. Yeah, I think we'll be sorted with just this to get us through here. Hideous looking hammer. So, Hound will keep us alive. And what we've got set up in this deadhead, good. So let's go into here.
Several experiments are threatened by the murmur as they near completion. We shall protect Master Entrati's good works via a three-phase response. Prepare well. Before the foe... Master Entrati's experiment. Remember, our aim is to safeguard Master Entrati's experiments. Repel the enemy, and keep it quiet. The family must never learn of what occurs down here.
Well, I don't think we'll have any issues surviving this. Fucking Mesa, God, I hate Mesa. Never enjoyed her. Why not wait for 4 people to spawn in? What is wrong with you? Okay, you want to go for it? Let's go for it then. Should have waited for 4 people to spawn in. That's going to be even tougher. Oh great, you killed everybody so I can't revive. Thank you. Should have got 4 people to spawn in. Why did you go ahead and start the mission when there was just the 2 of us? No point in handicapping each other. So there's definitely a great potential with Limbo. That multiplicative damage from Rift Torrent right up my street. So the guns like the Stalta and that are going to be absolutely crazy on him. Dare I say, probably better on Limbo than anyone if he really does multiply this damage like crazy. We'll see how our Cyclone gets on. Not really invested too much in it, and definitely not this hammer. This hammer is going to do fuck all damage probably, unless with proc influence. Then the damage will be pretty good. But the AoE is just so shit on these hammers now. Oh, for fuck's sake. A waste of time, man.
Well done, lads, well done! I dare say the murmur is quaking in its ambulators. Yes.
Starting with just 1 person. What is wrong with these people? Obviously you're going to want to go 4 people. Sorted. A lot better. I will get on a lot better, gentlemen. Let's see how reliable we can proc influence. Probably not that great, to be honest. As long as we can proc it, we'll get a decent AoE. Force proc and blast at least. So not one influence proc yet, which is utterly pathetic. There we go, 1.3 million electric. Still pretty shit pathetic damage this armor. Yes, not the greatest, is it? I wish these whiny little bitches didn't get the fucking hammers nerfed, because something like this could have been actually reliably good for blast damage with afflictions now, since these little bitches that can't handle people slamming. Not that I'm a big slammer, you know, usually I don't play hammers, but now that we've got afflictions blast fixed, we could add a lot more build potential with the slam weapons. Weapons that would have never been used could have become quite great, to be honest. Look at this. We got a limbo here or something now. It's an ally, right? Okay. Well, even this isn't great. If we had the slam radius, it could have been great though. Not very consistently proc and influence, is it? At least we'll get it leveled up though. Fucking hammers just feel shit, do they? You know, unless you're using the Magi Star, Sam Potes, Tenet Exec, or the Tenet, the Archititron. God, imagine we got a Tenet Archititron, that'd be pretty badass. Then most of the hammers just feel like dog shit, especially the radius in them. These little bitches crying about nerfs to slam. I can't even reliably proc influence an AoE now. Look at that. Just pathetic. Can't even influence this asshole up. Look at that. Can't even proc influence with it. Now it's got a decent status chance. It's got well over 100%. And look at that. Still just dog shit. People crying about disruptive game modes and slamming, yet they run around with fucking Torrid and Revenant. Now, we're reliably proc and blast. This might be a candidate for afflictions when I leave here. Might give it a go on afflictions. Varuna might be fun with this. It's just the AoE really suffers. Now look at that. We're not even proc and influencing that. So maybe the slam has a terrible status chance in this weapon. I don't know what's going on. It does not feel good. Look, can we slam these things? No. Now this little ball thing that Nova has can do quite a lot of damage sometimes. Caliban, that's a fantastic frame as well. It deserves a lot more love than he gets, Caliban. Even pre-rework, Caliban was fantastic. Another one. Another one. EJ Khaled. This is our last one. Good. I fucking hate this game mode. We better get a void cascade soon so I can go Baruch for afflictions to avoid level cap. I want to prove a point that heat afflictions Baruch will do dots into the, dare I say, maybe 100 million. I think there's potential there to see Baruch hit 100 million heat dots in a level cap. Look at that heat dots there, pretty nice. Prove that we don't need corrosive on this gun. We melt through everything well before we ever need any synth strip armor. Ridiculous. Nice. Oh, brilliant. Just the sort of shards we need. Great. So the cow and the normal yellow, that's pretty lucky to be honest.
To require high-quality elements, and lots of them. Proceed to the marked crucible.
something when
Yeah. Right.
something's ready to.
Right. Shh. I can't even remember how we stop these guys being immortal. I think you need to hit them with the right elements, do we? Yeah, he wants to be hit with toxin. There's a toxin marker on the asshole. Hideous, horrible game. Really, these people should be picking up an element to carry to the next area so we can just instantly, you know, bomb these enemies or throw it into the right thing. So what have I got? I've got electric, so I'm just going to wait for a group of enemies to appear, then bomb them, and hopefully get the Daniel Larson in them. Soon they will come immortal again. This dude here. So he wants toxin in him. Extremely horrible, tedious game mode. I don't know why D thinks anybody would enjoy playing this. Just an awful, awful game mode. But when you've got no Void Cascade to do what you're meant to play, nothing else really challenging in the game, so you're forced to do shit like this that, to be honest, I think the majority of us that play Cascade do not want to do. I wish they would just keep a permanent Cascade Fisher up. It wouldn't be that hard to do. There's 90% of the time always a fucking conjunction survival. Whether you're in normal game mode or Steel Pass, you always conjunction survivals up. I think that's very fair. Never not see one appearing. Then you see Kuva Fortress once for relics. Nobody plays them now. You just go to the fucking Iron Wake. Complete waste of everybody's time. Sandia, that's another shower of shit, is it? Nobody really likes the rewards from. Hello, Baran. How you doing? Oh, I'm just having a rant. I'm pretty fed up. I've been playing around with Limbo though, and I'm seeing crazy potential in Limbo in solo game modes. You know, I used his Cataclysm, his Rift Augment, and you know I was getting a multiplicative boost of like 6,000% damage in the starter, which is just unheard of. That probably makes him the best starter enjoyer in the game. So I'm just getting in the swing of things with Limbo Baron, just getting in the swing of banishing enemies and learning really how to play him, because I've got to the point where I'm quite fed up, so I thought, right, what can I do? So I'll start trying to learn Limbo. So I'll come in here and do this quickly and then get some stuff. Then I'm going to go back to learning more Limbo stuff. So I started toying around with him last night in the Simulacrum, and I realised just how much potential he has. And, like I always say about Vauban, the minute you cast Vauban's 4, you take no damage from any enemies unless they're Xmas, and Limbo feels very similar. As long as you can cast Stasis on these enemies, then you're going to take technically no damage. I was ranting about this game mode too. The immortal enemies in here are just so tedious and annoying. Yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it. I got rid of his 1 and I'm relying on big range, casting the 4, casting the 3, casting the 2, and then, not having to really worry about any of the enemies. And you know what's crazy? The Hound, if you do that, these enemies are then frozen. Yeah, so they can't really attack the Hound. You can just stand back and let the Hound put all of his dots on these enemies, and you get a cascading, massive, contagious bond nuke, which is hilarious. It's kind of like the setups people do with Clomie. You can just have the Hound kill everything while you stasis everybody, Rift Torrent them, and sit back and laugh at the astronomical levels of damage that the Hound can do with Limbo and Stasis. So I was laughing at that, and the conjunction survival, I just stasis a huge area and then let the Hound do everything. Oh, that Hilden's using Molt. Nice one. Yeah, honestly, Baron, once you start to use a Hound, you realise that you don't really need anything else, because the Hound is going to rival the damage of you, and it's going to give you free overguard by just putting Fortifier on your Archgun, and, it's the best primer in the game. Now it can steal Xmas abilities. That's a not bad setup if you want as well. I don't use that mod, but I know there's great potential in it. Have you seen this new AFK Xmas? So if you stay still, this AFK Xmas will just electrocute the spot you're standing in. So it's obviously to stop people standing still. So obviously the likes of Revenant won't need to worry about it, but it'll slowly tick through. Yeah, they'll slowly tick through all the stacks you've got of immortality. But the Hound will be able to steal that Eximus's abilities, so that might be quite interesting. I might go in the Simulacrum and test that by giving the Hound the stealing Eximus abilities mod and see just how it gets on stealing it. Yeah, the charges of Revenant's immortality, it would slowly tick through all of that. Well, the Tetra is a beautiful gun. I love this skin as well. It's not a Tetra skin, it's the dark skin, but I think it looks really cool. Yeah, you're right. I probably will have to analyse them actually. Probably, I need to go on a mission and start analysing them. Good point. That's what I'm going to go and do. Once I do this, I'll go on a mission and start analysing them, and then I'll go into the sim, and then I'm going to test out stealing that Eximus abilities and mind controlling them with Nyx as well. This is just a pure heat magnetic Cyclone, and it's chewing through everything. You know, no need for corrosive in this day and age. Armor's not an issue, so I'm just going pure heat mostly now, unless, you know, it's a primary weapon like the Stalta. I put corrosive in it just to up its damage. But when it's a secondary that applies heat dots this quick, I'm not bothering with corrosive anymore. Oh shit. I don't even think, well, you know, I'll keep it on my nuker for priming, but, you know, look at the heat dots we're doing with this. No modded corrosive, just decent beam length, a bit of punch through, heat and magnetic, critical chance, critical damage, secondary fortifier, and, you know, you just steamroll everything. Wouldn't be sustainable at level cap, but for something like this, it definitely keeps you alive and you can just use that. Not a bad run there, really, not a bad run at all. Right, where is my operators mods? So this is what I was going to send. How do I link this? I can't link it, just screenshot. Well, I've been playing around with Baruch Afflictions. I'll go into the Simulacrum and show you what I've been doing with it. But we're getting heat dots with Baruch with Afflictions, over 20 million. The ridiculous thing is, Baron, I can't actually gauge how much damage we're doing because they die before they even get lifted and take the Afflictions dots. So I'm going to take Baruch with Heat Afflictions to level cap, and then we'll actually see just how much these heat dots can tick for. But, you know, right now it's astronomical damage. I can't gauge how strong it is. Just to send a screenshot of this to my friend for his operator mods, because for some reason you can't link that config, which is very strange. So we've got sent through now. So back to game. Where are we? Right. So that was a horrible farm. So let's get his treasure here. Where is this asshole? Here he is. Better give me something good or I'm going to turn into Kentucky Fried Chicken. Blue shard. Don't need it, but will always come in handy for making purples, I suppose. Right. So we'll grab Baruch. We'll go scan a couple of these Eximus, maybe if we get lucky. No, fuck it. We'll go to the Simulacrum. And if this glitches, I need to go off the stream because this is just so unreliable sometimes. No, it's came okay. So we'll go into the simulacrum and I'll try and show you the levels of heat damage Baruch's doing now. So I made a video about it. Somebody commented saying they really liked it and they were using it over the other builds they discovered. So this is what I'm going with Baruch here. So vitality, if we go afflictions. If you don't have afflictions here, drop it and just put in more strengths. Now the way I do it is, I know he's got a 3, right? But my theory here is, we get so much... no, I changed this as well. So, people are probably thinking, yeah, if you're going to go just Space Steel Path, do that. But I don't like having to change my mods. And the thing is, we're going to generate shields with Baruch, right? We're going to generate shields as we play this. So if we go like this, let's say we go Brief Respite here, right? We're going to generate shields. Now, we're going to generate shields up to about 1,000. And then our DR kicks in. And this is enough to give us, basically, a build with 1,000 shields and built-in adaptation. And then once we pass the threshold in hard missions where DR isn't enough, you just start the shield gate. Do you know what I'm saying? So once you get in a mission and you build your shield up a bit, the amount of damage reduction we'll have with this and that is enough to make this turn into just basically about an 800, 900 shield as we cast abilities. And then we've got the built-in DR. So Fury and Strike, because you want attack speed. Fury's here to buff up Influence if you want. If you're not using Influence, that's a flex slot. But then here, if we look at this here, we've got Heat. Now another thing, Baruch's light slams still do a massive radius that's not been nerfed yet. I don't know why, but they do, and it's fucking crazy. So Affliction's Heat here is just going to go absolutely ham. So in direct hits with Condition Overload, and then, we've got the base damage Arcane as well. So this here, then obviously if we go Influence, all I change is I swap that for Electric, and I swap that for Influence. But, if we take this, get rid of this shit here. Put on this. So now we're going to build shields up with that, We're going to get Overguard 2. Now we're going to get about 1,000 shield, and Baruch's 3 will be enough to keep us alive. Now we'll take... we'll take this in case we need an emergency weapon. So now if we take this and we go to... Yeah, I've got the Hound here because, I was trying to use the mecha set, but we kill everything so quickly, there's just no point in using the mecha set. You're better to get the utility out of the Hound occasionally giving us Overguard and priming the whole room so well for the fists. By the time that the mecha set and a pet like that kicks in, everything's dead already. So it's just pointless to use. You're better to get the free priming and you're better to get the free Overguard occasionally as well. And then, there's no question the Hound is the best involvement. There's just no question. It stacks up Arcane Hotshot instantly. So if you're going to run Arcane Hotshot on all your gun builds, your Hound is your best option, because the minute that it shoots out its a little electric orb, it's going to stack Arcane Hotshot to 50 instantly, and it'll never stop. It'll just stay stacked at 50. So, if we get these guys in here, right, this is the level cap health guys, okay? I'm not going to be able to build the 12 combo to show the heat dots. Yeah, Blast did not apply. Let me read that comment. It's because for some reason they don't fully show on my screen. The Blood did not apply flexion. Why is the Jack Tag? Well, the Jack Tag forces Blast on Slam, so let's pull it out. So the Jack Tag is forcing Blast on every Slam, right? But to be honest, the Magistar is still the best way to go. If you take the Magistar and give it to Varuna, here we're force prop Blast, right? So we're going to force prop Blast. Vulcan Blitz is not needed. Pull it out. Slam attack, deal blast damage, blah, 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 blah. We're going to force prop Blast, and Afflictions are going to calculate it right now. What else could we put in here? Let's fuck it. We'll put in this. So let's spawn in these dudes here. Now we'll force prop Blast, and it should do not bad damage just now. So look at that, already 2 million. Look at the dots already, already 2 million. you know, multiple mil, 4.2 million, 1.7 million, 1.7 million. So, you know, that's really good. But then if you do something like this is where it really starts to take shape on how good it is now. If you take, you know, look at this Varuna, for example, right? You give her something like this. Now, most these force proc blast on their slams, but they could have terrible status chance. So, you know, this thing doesn't have the best status chance on its weird heavy attacks, but when you give it to Varuna, you cast her 1, she's going to give it 100% status chance, and then you can do something like this. Oh, shit. Now watch the slams. Look at that. Just insane. Multiple million, 7 million slam or something that was. No stacks. Now we're starting to stack things up. So, cast a 4, Raffle Advance, cast a 1. And then now we've got an insane blast force on everything. And the Sampotes obviously has its crazy, you know, its crazy line of AoE. So, you know, it's the same, let's give her the 10 exec. So it's going to force blast as well, but prior it had bad status chance. So I put gas on this. So we're going to get gas blast. We're going to be able to slam with this, and it's going to do big waves. So spawn these dudes in again. The gas might actually hinder us here and give us, but you know, regardless, look at the damage. Probably just want to go pure blast with this one, but I thought the gas might be a fun different change. You know, big damage. So, you know, back to Baruch. So what I was saying with Baruch was, yeah, that'll work as well. Really, anything that can slam reliably quite good is now going to be able to really take advantage of the fixed afflictions. So if we give Baruch, you know, like I says, Baruch's slam, light slam, is still a massive radius. Now look at this. So you can light slam and do slam builds with Baruch without actually investing in any slam, without even needing seismic wave. So if we look at this, now we're in our 4, yeah? Now look at our heavy slam, tiny radius. Look at our light slam, massive radius. Watch this, tiny slam, big light slam, big radius. So we'll just wear down our restraint, and then we'll show the sort of heat dots we can get with this afflictions build. So light slam, look at the size of the radius on Baruch's light slam. Massive radius, then heavy slam, tiny radius. So they didn't nerf Baruch's light slam. I don't know if they will nerf it now that somebody's talking about it, maybe. So light slam, and look at the damage. We're not even built up properly yet. And then they're taking 10 stacks of corrosive, heat, viral. Oh yeah, there's the Furox race. I'll look at that in just a sec. So, you know, look at that. Just ludicrous damage. So if we get rid of our Hound, because it's going to kill everything too quickly, hit the Diriga, so we can give them a bit of a chance. And we'll spawn in the dudes that have got the level cap health, and we'll show the heat dots here. Now, I can't physically get to 12 combo because they die before afflictions can actually proc to show the dots we do. But, you know, we'll go into our fists here with no combo, and we'll look for the heat dots we get on lifted enemies. It's going to be in like 10, 12 million probably. So watch this. Lifted, 2.4 million, 5 million. So already we're ticking enough damage to kill level cap. So back into our 4. We've got no combo, lift him. 9.9 million heat dot. Yeah, I can't actually see the dots because they die too quickly. That's the problem with Baruch. He's just so strong we can't actually work out how much these heat dots are doing. Now we'll try and lift him again. We've got 6 combo, that's the problem now. Give them viral too, see how much the dots will go up to. So dots into like... It's just too hard to gauge. They all die too quickly. Now we could try and do the light attack. You know, when we don't do the slide attack, the third punch of his light attack can lift some enemies. So if we stand far enough back, we might be able to lift some. So 11 million heat dot there, 15 million, 5 million, 4.3 million. See, before we even lift them, they're dying to dots of a million. 1.4. So, you know, this is just going to absolutely tear through level cap effortlessly, and we'll actually get to see some heat dots tick. So if I can try and stand far back and lift them. This is the problem. $10 million. Now, I think Influence is going to be the bigger AoE and probably better for killing AoE, but I do think Afflictions will do more damage. They got lifted there. Again, I can't gauge the dots, they die too quick. I wish they would just continue to show the dot until the dots stop ticking. And it's the same in Mission, you know, they all just die too quickly that you can't really tell. So if I spawn in these dudes, maybe they'll spawn their little minions and we'll get to see the actual dots we can do now. For another shot. No. Now they're all lifted up. Again, too much damage. So if I take off the companion, maybe it won't cloud as much damage and we'll be able to see a bit better. Maybe they'll, you know, the condition overload won't do that much damage now and we'll get to reliably see the dot damage now. But I would always just say go Influence Baruch. This is just a bit of testing to see really how much damage his lifted attacks are going to do with Afflictions in pure heat. The fact we've got melee elementalist and Archon Vitality, that should triple dip on the heat dots and give us the reason why we're getting such high heat dots. And if we try and lift these guys up here, we might see the dots. So 3.5 million, 20 million, 7.7 million. It's a bit easier to tell now. 4.4 million. 9.5 million, 1 million. So, you know, that's the sort of levels of damage it's doing. So at level cap, we'd see it a lot better. So that's as far as I've got with it right now. So we're at 6x now. 9 million. 6.4 million. So, you know, everything's going to die, regardless of what you fight with this build. 10 million dot there. So it's killing level cap as it ticks. Now, if we go Influence, obviously we drop a few mods and we just do this. We go in here. If we're going for an Influence build, in my opinion, you drop Vitality, you put this in. Now let's talk about the reason I have a small shield here, 93. The way that we'll be able to survive with this is from Brief Respite and Augur Secrets, building the shield up to about 900, and then pure DR will work like adaptation on a shield that's 900. See, I would say that Valkyr can maybe hit higher damage, but Baruch has superior AoE and status chance, and he's got fantastic critical chance. Problem with Valkyr is you can't reliably proc Afflictions, I don't think. Oh yeah, that's a beast, the Queller. Let's have a look at that in a sec. So, you know, if this is an Influence Baruch, and we go like this, swap this out, go electric, you know, we're definitely going to kill quicker. It's just not going to dot as good. But then again, with this, we're going to spread corrosive, we're going to spread whatever else they're weak to with the Influence. Then we'll show the survivability with the catalyzing shields and why I think it works just enough. That's nice, eh? So now look at this, one tap and they're all going to die. You know, it's just obscene. Influence Brook is just obscene. It's just absolutely fucking broken. You know, electric corrosive around the whole room along with viral. It's just, and look at our shield. So see the point I'm making, Baron. Look at our shield, the level of our shield already, right? Keep casting him. We've got an 800 shield, 900, 1000 shield. You know, so now we've got adaptation, right? Now we'll get our restraint down and look at the amount of survivability we'll get just from this alone. We'll get more in, get our restraint down, and then look how easily we can survive with this level of shields. Now we've got pretty much maxed out DR. And look at the size of the shield we have as well. Now if we spawn in some guys and we let them give us a few hits, getting these dudes here, we should survive quite easily just on DR. Look at our DR. You know, look at that. For base steel pass, that's enough. And then when you pass that threshold of, you know, DR not working, you can also cast some shields, get it back, see? So, you know, we don't really have much to worry about. And then most of the time, these people are asleep. So, you know, that's more than enough DR. And then when you go to level cap, you just rely on catalyzing shields. If we spawn in some Eximus, we'll show how we can then just not have to worry about the DR and replicate a sort of level cap situation of damage. We don't need to worry about the DR now. We can just, you know, go like this. You know, see, even that, they're struggling to get through all the shields that Baruch has. You know? So in base steel path, it's more than enough. Now, we can just shield gate now that we've lost that shield. And kill everything. And then, you know, shield gate again. Build the shields back up. So it's more than enough survivability for Baruch. To break the shield, we just do this. They broke the shield, cast 1 or 2, and then we're okay. Nothing to worry about. Now, other thing I wanted to touch on before we get off topic is Atlas with afflictions. Now, I believe Atlas can lift people in his third attack. Is it worth it? I don't think so. So we spawn in these level cap worthy enemies, pause their AI, give him some nourish. Now, freeze them. Now, his third attack should proc afflictions. Didn't. So it's full of shit. What I read was wrong. Oh, no, it did. It did proc afflictions. So the dot of that was 9 million. So, you know, he could use afflictions as well. So that heat dot was 9 million. So if we go back over here and, for example, we try something like this, we'll see just how much we can make this heat dot get up to. We'll give him maybe this. We're not going to have enough room for that. Alright, we'll try that just now. See what our heat dot gets up to. Over here was melee elementalist. So our status chance isn't the best. This will work. Afflictions on the third attack will lift enemies. So we should see good heat dots now. Lifted. Heat dots of what? Like a couple 100,000. Build the combo up. Heat dots in almost 1 million. Lift it up. Really crazy heat dots now, 7 million. Yeah, 2.3 million. So you could use afflictions of them. Is there a reason? Probably not. But the heat dots are definitely there. 6.1 million heat dot. So that's going to kill level cap. Problem is, in the situations where you would want to maybe use this, most of these enemies are immune to afflictions, you know, Demolists, Thrax, unless they've got their overguard stripped. So if we spawn in these dudes here, see how we do on lift, if we lift these enemies. Now they're lifted, the dots are good. But, you know, they're going to die before the dots even tick, so you would reliably just go fucking influence, would you? You wouldn't want to neuter your potential of AoE when you could just go influence. So, reach. And to keep him alive, we're going to put in, what is it, fast deflection. That's the way I run him. That way we've got reliable energy, sustain and nourish and energize. So what we're talking about, we're going to talk about the Queller and Valkyr as well. So Valkyr's what is shit? We'll take this Valkyr here that's not got as good damage. She's got influence which works reliably with afflictions. We drop that. Let's put in something like heat maybe. So what's gonna lift? So some of these lift. So I just put something like this on here and this would work best. So now we've got 16% status chance by the time we build it. We could go slam as well, but we're not going to. That was a bit testing before. Reflex, steel. Put this here. And then if we put something like this in, this would be the best way to consistently do it, I think. This would be the best way to proc afflictions on Valkyrie if we're going to do it that way. Get these dudes in. Well, but they're going to die before we probably even tick damage. Before they're dying before we even lift them, really. Now, if we do lift them though, 38 million, just preposterous damage. Absolutely preposterous damage. Now, what did I have here? Did I have condition overload? No, I didn't even have any base damage because she's just that strong. Just range, really, that's all we cared about in this Valkyrie. So if we were to put something like this in to spread some viral for us, and then we try and lift them, let's see how we get on. Put these dudes together. I don't even think they pull together, these guys are weird. Now if we heavy attack on these dudes here, or, you know, we do that. Now, none of these are lifting them, but we can lift them. Here we go. That lifted status effect. Yeah, there's some lifts. So we're getting dots in the millions, but, you know, realistically, you would just go with influence, would you? You wouldn't want to waste your time with this shit. Yeah, they're not lifting. So your best lifted attack is probably the heavy. Well, you keep yours. Yours is probably better than this. You know, when I did mine, I just, you know, I took out a level cap once. And what was I done? I done this. I done this with this. Where is it? You know, nothing survives this. It's just absolutely brutal. I had shield gating in this. I don't know why. This must have been pre persistence. My other Valkyrie's more built, but I'm looking at this one right now. You know, this is the way I done it, and I had zero energy, zero I didn't even need Eternal War, so I'm going to drop that. What else did I have in this? I had Previous Spite, I don't need that either. I needed, what did I have in this? That's a complete waste. No need for that there. I should have Physique in there, that's what I should have in there. I mean, that's all that a Valkyrie needs, is it? Parkour velocity, and then she's going to jump around the map very easily. This is what I had, and what else? What else could go in here? I suppose battery would work good. You're going to get enough lifesteal off of the talons that probably 900 health would be enough, ironically. It's, you know, far too low health typically, but if I done something like this, I'm sure that I'd survive. This isn't my actual Valkyrie build, this is the old Valkyrie that I never use now. The minute you get an influence proc, you know, look at that. Everyone's dead, bloody blah. We don't have any critical damage shards in here. Probably suffering a good bit of damage, and then, you know, spawning these dudes here, and then I doubt we're going to be able to die. Even though we've got ridiculously low health, I doubt we'll die from this.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Yeah, you're just going to out-heal before they can damage you. It's ridiculous. My actual Valkyrie build was this one here. It's the one that I've used at level cap several times. So it was just pure critical damage. Mega set, probably not needed. Everything will die before we get the chance, probably. I think this would be the better. We've got enough health to survive anything. Aura, what could we put in? Probably something like Steel Charge. Where's the combo one? I think that would be the best one to put in there. Ready Steel, yeah, that would be the best one to put in there. Mega set's really not needed. Umbral set. Arcane Battery. That means we don't need Hunter Adrenaline. I suppose we could put that in there, drop Arcane Battery, because we've got 1000 energy, which is just preposterous. What else could we put in there? Fury, maybe? Yeah, probably that. 225 energy is more than enough, because anytime we get shot, we get full energy again. Eternal War. Talons, what have we got in here? Electric, just what I thought we'd have. No base damage, because there's no need for it. Truth Flame, constant parkour velocity. Then the minute we're shot, we get full energy again. Yeah, it literally can't kill you because you're getting lifesteal in every attack. So you cannot die as long as you're attacking. It's just, it's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Look at that damage. 271 million. Is there a need in that? Is there really a need in having that much damage? And you can just chain these together because you've got the fucking, that modding. You know, everything dies. Just ridiculous. 273 million, 234 million. Complete overkill. Nothing in the game can survive that. Just brutal. Right, the Queller. What did I have in my Queller? Wisp. Can't even type now. Right, my Queller wasn't the best. You know, it's no, no, this is, in my opinion, that sort of ribbon there is the best ribbon you can have in a multiplicative gun. Because you're replacing your Serration, you're replacing that, you're really freeing up 2 mod slots. You're getting a boost of critical damage as well. So that then allows you to put something else there you want. Now, unfortunately, we've got base cold and that to it, so I don't really want that to be there. But, you know, if you put something like that in external bleeding because you're going to get a lot of force impact procs. I can't really think of what else I could put in here. Maybe magnetic. Yeah, give us a bit more magazine capacity. Spam the alt fire. You know, with Diriga, something like this. I don't know how much millions this is going to hit, but it's going to hit a lot of millions. No stacks. 4.6 million. 62 million. 144 million. 82. 188. Just complete overkill. 269. 165. Still haven't reloaded yet. Now we're reloading. $404 million. Just, there's no need in that. Absolutely disgusting. Fantastic gun for disruption. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Now, if you factor in something like this, more critical damage. Look at that. Oh yeah, the Perigil Prime, it's quite nice, is it? 46 million. Just get out of here. Disgusting. Now, how's the normal fire mode in this? I don't think it's the greatest, is it? A while since I've toyed around with it. Oh no, it's still strong. Still very strong. Yeah, can't complain with that. Definitely can't complain with that damage. Is it hit scan? Or is it projectile based? I think it's hit scan. But it's still, you know, still ticking away at these guys, no bother. Yeah, it's not bad. You're definitely best to just rely on the alt though, because look at that. Nothing in the game can survive that. Just disgusting. The Perigale is really nice though. I think it shines best in Vauban. Shock horror. I'm always going to say that though, where is it? Perigale Prime. This is what I had in it. Deadhead, blah blah blah. Now, obviously, when you get a headshot, it's really good because then what is it? You get the free infinite ammo for a little while, so you can just vaguely aim at their heads, and you're sorted, are you? And with Vauban, what makes that so good is we can lift the enemies up, and then, you know, it's too easy to just get your headshots once you set up like that. You know, you do that, then look at that. The levels of damage are just astronomical, and you can just spam it like that without actually having to aim. And when you actually do aim, look at that. Enough to kill anything. 4 million. If we pull in the best there is, you can, you know, make this so much better by, obviously this is kind of cheating because you're using other abilities. You know, you get that on the go, then you do this, and then you're easily able to just pick off people like that, or you know, that, and throw down the one augment, like I always go on about, and then you do something like this, and you kill the whole room, which just makes snipers feel so good in Vauban. You know, we've got infinite lifted enemies here, so you know, as long as we're killing, I really set our timer back to 45 seconds, so we can just keep throwing this down for another shot, and then, you know, just chill and vaguely aim, and we're sorted. So, you know, I think that's why, you know, snipers feel so good in Vauban, because, you know, you just instantly turn them all into AoE, reset your timer, and then you constantly can just chain this, you know, just chill in an area, whether it's defense or, you know, mobile defense or something. You can just chill here, pick off your easy headshots, pick off these marked targets, and you've got a very easy time. You know, I do think I had just one form on this originally, I think one farmer can fit all of this in, which is really crazy. Definitely don't need shred here. You know, if we put something like this in instead, you know, we're going to get even more damage now. You know, that's really crazy. And they're not primed up. These are primed. Look at that, 8.6 million. You're killing level cap. 12 million. I'll throw down this. 12 million. Now, if you group them up like that as well, you know, it's another fun way. You proc your infinite ammo, right? Proc your infinite ammo on a headshot, then you just do this. Nice and easy. So the Furax Wraith, what did I have in this? I haven't played around with that much. Oh, the Comarex, that's the sniper with the viral, is it? That's pretty good, that gun, actually. I used to play around with that quite a lot. So, you know, we can force blast on each slam with this, can we? Decent enough. So what's this? Look at this. The melee kills blast and stagger enemies in 15 meters. So if we give this to somebody like Varuna, who's going to force blast, or somebody like Vauban, who can just pull them all together, that might be the better choice. So we'll spawn these guys in. No stacks. Look at the blast already. Couple of million. You know, pretty good. Yeah, invisible. Past that. Put these stats of X and enemies. Afflictions them, and then, you know, that's going to go around the whole room. So this guy here. Afflictions. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, punch him with it first. And then Tennokai triggers, jump up. So we get these dudes here with like level cap worthy health. 4, cast 1. Oops. You know, you're killing level cap with 1 slam. Problem is these lack the AoE that, you know, you can get with a Magistar. That's what makes it so broken now with Afflictions. So we've got this with literally no mods for anything really, but, you know, just pure critical damage, critical chance. Dark Sword, another absolutely busted weapon. So, you know, we don't need any status chance in this because we'll just rely on Varuna doing it. And this is when things get to really, really broken levels. So I'd done a level cap. I streamed it about a day or two ago with Varuna with this. And look at it already. The levels of fucking blast are just astronomical. I'll have a look at that in just a second. I'm going to jump out of here so I can see them. So, you know, look at this now. The blast in that is just busted. You actually can't see the levels of damage here because they're dying before it actually ticks. That's the problem. You're seeing blast procs a little bit now. But, you know, they're blast procs in the multiple millions. 17 million there. So, you know, as long as you slam next to somebody, and then if you factor in Varuna's 2, you know, something like this, slam here, watch this. You know, everything gets spread to everybody. And then they're going to take all that procs when you slam them as well. So I'm going to jump out here and have a look at what you sent me. I'm hoping this next update we get gives us some interesting stuff because apart from toying around with Limbo, I'm getting pretty bored. So what we've got here, we've got the Furax Wraith. Tennokai. Oh yeah, exposure. I like Berserker Fury. A lot of people talk shit about it, but the minute you get 1 kill, you know, you're golden. Yeah, this looks pretty strong. How's our slam radius with these? They're not that great though, are they? Oh yeah, that'll definitely shred. Definitely. Duration, aptitude, you're pretty much golden. And the critical damage, fire rate. Yeah, that recoil thing you told me about Deadhead. Yeah, that's definitely going to kill everything all the way up to level cap. Easily. And the Dark Sword. Oh yeah, yeah, this is what I was toying around with. This sort of thing in the Dark Sword. It is absolutely ludicrous. Finishing damage, is that applying in the Dark Sword, is it? What did I have in it? So, what did I have? I was trying to do blast with it. Yeah, yeah. So, I think the best way to do the Dark Sword is what your friend had there, is definitely the gas. Because look at that, 39,000 base damage there. It's just absolutely astronomical. So afflictions, critical damage, melee damage. Take the same with Varuna, and then the only thing holding these back are the AOE, and that's why the Magistar feels so supreme, because it's still got that great AOE. That's why I like Baruch's Light Slam as well, because it has insane AOE. Now look at that dots of gas. You know, they're dying before it really ticks. Just really strong. Can't really gauge how much they're dying, because they die so quickly. Getting these level cap dudes here, where are they? There we go, that's better AoE. That's what I should have been doing. And the lingering gas. They all die kind of for the chance. If I jump on the edge of there, maybe. Yeah, so that gas is going to linger and just annihilate everything. So if we put it on here, then we gas this dude here. And that's going to spread to everybody. Oops. Yeah, look at the gas dots. Just the minute they spawned in, they died. Now, if we gave this to somebody like Neja, that's why the Mire's so good, because it's going to force proc. The Mire's going to force proc Toxin. This will force proc Gas, which is quite good. $527 million that guy took over there. 527 million. I Dark Sword somebody in the corner, and look at that. Gas the whole room, everything's dead. $3.4 million. So the Dark Sword's probably your best choice in Neja right now. Now these guys don't get speared, I don't think, so I don't know how it'll apply to them. Oh no, it seems to be applying. Yeah, you're getting dots into the millions. Yeah, dots into the millions again. So yeah, the Dark Sword's a definite good one. And Meyer Neja, let's see if it rivals it. What we've got here, we've got Toxin Magnetic, good. So this is going to be really impressive damage, I think. Yeah, into the multiple million. So pretty good, but I think the Dark Sword is better. I'll go look at the Coda Harudo in 2 seconds. Right, the Harudo. Harudo, I haven't found a really good choice of using the Harudo. Of course, it's good and usable and strong, but is there a need in the Harudo? I don't think so, really. You know, this here, I suppose lifesteal could be good if you're going for a persistence build. It doesn't have much reliable ways to steal health. In my opinion, you know, heal and return, what was that other? Trill chance. Heal and return, not needed. That's on there because on non-critical hits, you don't get heal and return. Elementalist. And this would be the only way I would run this if I was going to even use it in the first place. Yeah, that's what I used it with, was with Nidus. But the thing is, Nidus has got so much health steal already, he doesn't fucking need it. The minute that Nidus gets 200 stacks, he's immortal. Because he gets health regen based on his stacks. So, you know, with this, Nidus can't die anyway. But I agree, like, I like to use this with this. Where is it? This with Nidus, and then we'll copy the colours. Go to Harudo with Nidus. And then secondary, what did I like to use in him? Because it looks best with Nidus. The Pox is good. Torxka is good. We'll give him Overguard with this, which gives him an extra layer of survivability. And then, you know, if you do this with Nidus, this is a cool way to play him. Pull this in here, pause it up. Then already we're going to get put that on, then, you know, stomp, then look at that. Already, that's the alt fire that's got shit crit chance, and then look at the good fire mode. Look at our health already. And look, we're out healing before the, you know, without even using the Harudo. So if you use the Harudo, it's complete overkill. But it's a cool, definitely a cool weapon using Nidus. It suits him. I think if we went gas Harudo, that would be better because each limb takes damage here. It's a weird way, I think it's quadratic scaling. So you know, something like this. Influence, electric, gas, maybe. Let's try and I'll format this up 5 times to get it so I can change what I want on it. So what we've got? We've got range of 1.25. We're kind of need that. We can drop pressure point. Do that there. Now we could put in a good crit chance, good status chance. We could put something like this in, I think. Yeah, where is it? Scourge. Heat. So then we'd want big electric as well. So now what we've got? We've got 357 electric, so we're slightly outweight with electric. That's good. Just enough. This could probably work good. Influence gas. So now, you know, when we group these people up, we get gas procs in the grouped enemies, that would work really good, and it would give us passive lifesteal. Look at the gas procs there, they're going to do really lots of damage. And I think that kind of suits Nidus gas damage, does it? So the electric on the grouped enemies, electric gas is going to be really strong. Look at that. Boom. Lingering gas as they get pulled in, and that's the way to do the Gerudo and Nidus. The minute they take a gas proc, it's that crazy quadratic scaling which just goes ham. Really crazy. And, you know, if we pull in these guys here that I don't even think Nidus can lift up. Yeah. We can see the levels of gas damage we'll do though. If they were all pulled together, it would have been a lot better. That's the problem with these the Wrecker Bombard guys. Hard to pull these dudes in, then we get gas damage on them, and look at that. Into the millions. Oh yeah, this Cyanex, I'll show you something that I was playing around with. 21 million gas damage, you can't complain with that. Look at that. So it's Cyanex. Where is it? The funny gun, that one. It's a bit like a worse version of the Zac-D Prime, which I think does this a lot better. So Enervate, blah blah blah, you know the score. Let's pause these dudes. And I believe the alt fire is multiplicative on this gun. So it feels pretty pathetic like this. Then you get your Enervate up and it feels not too bad. Yeah, I think it is. Then you get the alt fire and then it gets really strong. So it looks quite lackluster here because we've got the Enervate on it. But I think the way I'd done this originally was gas Enervate. Where is it? Oh, I was using Hemorrhage, I shouldn't be using that. But it does Force Slash, which is quite cool. So when we lose that, we go all gas damage, drop that. Probably a Hornet Strike, and Deadhead, Gas, Magnetic. No, sorry, not Deadhead. We're going to want to go Enervate or Cascadia Flare here. Status Duration maybe for more gas, and then maybe more multi-shot. What else could we put in here? I don't really know what else we could put in here. Maybe Sure Shot drop that. Put in that for more status damage. Yeah, this sort of thing with minimum format, it's not really built right, one format. But if I invested in it, I'm sure this gas damage would do quite well. So if I do something like this, what arcane was he using? Right, yeah, so it was viral heat, was it? Let's take the boy out. And if we do something like this should work quite well. I think this is what I was doing last time. It's something along the lines of this. Viral grouping, then, alt fire and gas. Once we're primed up, do not bad damage. Once we've got some stacks up as well, something like this. You're heavily relying on that gas, that's the problem. Pull these guys in here. Gas viral. Multi-co. Is it? Yeah, I believe the alt fire is multi-co. Yeah, look at that. An awful lot of ammo to be tuned through though, is it? Now, if we were investing it with non-critical chance and rely on Vauban's hot shot, we could probably get better results out of it. If we were to do something like this, I think. So something like this, I think this would work better if we rely on the critical chance coming from Vauban's hotshot. I honestly think this would work better. But what do I know? So we'll see how we get on with just a bit of priming. Now this isn't multi-co, I don't think. I think it's only the alt fire that does it. Yep. Look at that damage already. Yeah, it's nothing to scoff at, even in its normal firing mode. Look at that. Still hitting 200k. Oh yeah, I know. I just thought, I replaced the... Where was my Harrow? I replaced his energy sustain on Harrow with that for that reason. So the Harrow I used was this. This is the level cap Harrow I used. So expertise because of strength, applying to shield, Aegis to get the shield back quickly, fast deflection. So when you lose all that shield, you instantly start getting it back, along with brief respite. I know it looks crazy. Equilibrium, and then replacing Harrow's energy sustain with Nourish. Honestly, this works really good. So let's give Harrow this, for example, so we can get it to crit crazy. We'll make him invincible just so we can stack his 4. So, I don't know if you heard any of that, I think that was muted. So we're going to have crazy shield back with this Aegis. Anytime we lose shield, we'll get it back. Massive shields. We should never really run into issues here. If this was level cap, I do think I would just go for catalyzing shields. Then again, though, we'd lose the great fire rate buff. So we'll show how I would do this here and just base steel path. Keep this immortal here, we should be able to cast a 4.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
So see, look at the shields we got it back straight away, see? Now, I can show my point a bit better now. Get these guys in. Pause the AI, turn off our invincibility. So, I'm fucking about doing the wrong things now. So what we're going to do is get these guys in. Turn on invincibility, unpause the AI. So, look at our shield. We've got full shield. We immediately cast our 2, lose it all, but then we start gating it back straight away by casting.
Leave me to my thoughts. They are crowded enough.
Sorry, I was having a bit of issues there. My kid not behaving. Trying to stack up this to show an example, but right, now we'll do it like this. Get these people in. So, caster 4, caster 2. Now we immediately got our shields back there from the Diriga. Caster 1, then we're going to instantly get, basically our shield back without any issue. We've got insane reload speed in this too. Look at that, 3.1 million. Now, if we do lose shields, look at that. We're getting it back from Aegis. So we're going to have a hard time actually losing shields in this build. Now, when Aegis ends up running out, watch this. Aegis ran out, cast 1 once, instantly got it back again. Now, we'll probably proc Aegis again. And we've obviously got CC from all the other guys here. Look at that. Now, if we do lose our shield again and we don't get Aegis, Aegis procced. So Harrow is basically role-playing as Hildurin in this build. So, we're going to have a hard time losing shields. Yeah. So if you factor in this, it's a bit of overkill, but you're never going to die. And then, if we take something like the Hound as well, which is going to give us periodic overguard, forget about dying. If we go like this and, let's take something actually worthwhile right now. We take, something like this with overguard. That's overkill. We'll leave that actually. Let's take something out like, I don't know. Take out the Sepulchrum, right? Merciless, no overguard, no survivability. We'll boost that to make that good. And we'll take out something like, I don't know, let's take out the Bass Assist to give it crazy headshot damage. The standard Bass Assist build. Then, Harrow can boost attack speed, can he? So if we take out this too. So this is our fully fledged build. This is the Hound. I would recommend anybody that hasn't got a Hound, this is the way to do it. I would never have issues with this Hound. Whether you go melee, you keep the Hound immortal. It'll give you shields constantly, it'll spread insane stats. This is the one that gives you overguard. So this is the one that's really important. So look at that, 2 Forma, and you got, in my opinion, the only companion you will ever need. This is going to give you instant full stacks of Arcane Hotshot and periodic overguard. Now, a lot of people like to use the other Hound mods. What's this one here? So you can only have 1 Prospectus mod in, and only 1 Audit and 1 Denial. So Denial's not bad. Fabricate 3 spectres that fight for 30 seconds each, deals 85% of the Hound's damage. It's okay. Reflex Denial, generate a shield. That gets in your way. If that shield, it's like an Eximus bubble. This just gets in the way. If you're trying to use that, in my opinion, you can't shoot through it. Focus Prospectus is a waste of time. Synergized Prospectus will do Electric, Proc and Arcane, Archon Stretch, and stacking up Arcane Hotshot and Archon Stretch. Repo Audit, emits a magnetic pulse, it's okay. Equilibrium Audit, unleash a series of assault waves and hostile enemies, a waste of time. Where's the one that steals the Eximus abilities? Where is that one? There we go, Null Audit. This will steal Eximus abilities. So if you really wanted to, you could swap this out, I suppose. If you didn't want to really worry about shield, you could swap this out. But I feel like all of these are just so good, it's hard to not have them. I suppose you could put Null Audit in instead of Duplex Bond. That could work. We put that in there. Let's see what we got on with Null Audit. So, and then on here, ignore that Riven. Just put a Toxin mod in. And you're getting lasting status effects, more melee element, status damage, more base damage. This thing is just insane. Just really, really strong. So that really isn't needed. I was hoping that I could have got my critical chance over 50, and then I would have been able to put in Tenacious Bond. But I don't think it's ever going to work. So if we do this, if we get Harrow set up here, we get this in here. Now, off the rip, without even casting our 4, let's just cast this 2, lose all our shields. We lost the shields, and look, the Hound gave us it back anyway. The one that I'm using, the one that's got built-in slash, I think that's the best one. So now, if we get Eximus in, we should see this Hound steal some abilities from the Eximus. I haven't seen this in a long time, but the Hound can steal like all the good abilities in that. He might die though, that's the problem, because we've got so many Eximus here. I'll give him some overguard. There we go. Now the Hound, look, the Hound's doing that purple Eximus lights, look at that, which is ridiculous. Let's see what other abilities he steals. There we go, he's doing the heat again, look at that. And the Hound did all that. So I might play around with that today and see how we get on with it. If we're pulling these level cap health guys, we'll see the Hound, easily kill them too with dots. Yeah, the Hound's proccing that Jade Lights, look at that. Which is preposterous. Look at that. It's utterly insane. The Hound doing Jade Lights is just ridiculous. And look at him, his status damage is enough to wipe out these guys, no bother. Look at that. The heat dots in them. Level cap health. And the one thing about Harrow's want to survive, you can only cast it on one enemy once. You can't keep casting it on the same enemy. It only works once. So you need to find a new enemy to cast your one on. That's one issue with Harrow's one. That's why I feel like Expertise, Aegis, Fast Deflection, which might be overkill, it kind of makes him into Gauss. It kind of makes him really hard to kill. Well, let's get all our stuff propped again. We'll get in these dudes. We're casting 2, losing all our shields. The Hound should give us it back. If not, Fast Deflection will proc. And then we can cast 1. Then we've got all the shields back. We've got insane fire right now. Cast there's 4 for all our crit chance. For accumulated damage. The Hound's kind of making everybody infight with radiation, which is a massive tool for survivability on its own as well. I don't think people realise how good rad proc in a whole room really is for survivability. We've got everything in place. Get our nourish on the go. Now, no, they can't damage us now. Get our hound some overguard. We can kind of chill and look what the hound will do dot wise. Multiple millions, 164 million that dot was from the hound. If we get him to steal some Eximus abilities as well. So see, that's the thing that stacks up Hotshot instantly. It just bounces around the room and really stacks up Hotshot fast. And it'll periodically give us overguard too. But look at Harrow's fire rate. Play around the sepulchrum. Hound's just killing everything now. Now we've got Aegis proccing, we've got nothing to worry about. Periodically cast one, should be golden. For Nourish up. Because obviously we've replaced Harrow's energy regen for Nourish. Because I think that's his weakest ability, and especially when we can outsource it to get vital and give ourselves great energy regen. You know, the rest of his abilities synergize really well. I don't think there's a need for us to really have Harrow's 3. And we can just sustain that constant crit chance from the occasional headshot kills. Look, we're up at 47 seconds. And then if we have any shield issues, we just periodically cast a 1. And, you know, in Bestial Pass solo gameplay, this feels amazing. We've got great reload speed too. Look at that for the Sepulchrum. So definitely good. Yeah, that's the Jade's quite an interesting character, is she? Where is she? Yeah. How did I have Jade set up? Now, I haven't invested too much into Jade and played around with her that much. But this was the way I had her. I definitely know that she's got the, you know, shock order. I've got that there because I was doing a gun build. So the way I was doing this was, if I can remember how to play her right. I'll have a toy around with this. This was a gun build, ignoring her glory. So I was doing something along the lines of this. So we get stacking Hotshot naturally off of Jade's judgment. But we've got the hound, so we don't need to worry about that. So if I was to take something like this out, give herself overguard with that, parkour velocity, blah blah blah, the hound's going to do. So yeah, the Akaton, I think this is the best weapon to use, because look at this. It's got built-in puncture and slash. So when we're talking IPS, it's better than the Batutin, which is just impact and puncture. So we're getting the benefits of puncture for critical chance, and we're getting the benefits of slash here, which is obviously, in my opinion, the best choice. The other one, whatever it's called, I think it's impact puncture. I think it's maybe, I don't know, impact and slash or something. Or something, I don't know. But that's the best choice. The Akaton. So whether you get it or not, it doesn't really matter that much. You're mostly going to be caring about the hound proc and electric and heat, vital or corrosive, you know, for your for all the different elements. So how did I gameplay loop this Jade? I think it was squad's weapon damage increased, was it? Or was it shield effect? Oh, shield effectiveness for high levels. So we can easily survive from shield gating like that. Yeah, the Lacertin, that's it. And then, you know, look at the heat damage we're doing here. We've got Arcane Hotshot instantly stacked up. So this was going to be a gun only build for my Jade here. And often am eyes to strip armor, which is just not really needed. Slow enemies down, that was what it was really for, you know, because you get insane survivability with this. But if we unpause these guys here, look at this. Shouldn't really have much survivability issues with this. And if our shield ever breaks, you know, look at it, again, instant shield regen. If we get Eximus in, it might be a different story. As long as we can shield gate, we should be fine. Yeah, look at that. We're pretty much okay. between Jade's shield mod, shield buffing. Oh, spoke too soon. Realistically, we should be fine though. But obviously, not everybody's going to take Jade to level cap, are they? So in base steel path, I think this would work. Oops, died from all that heat dots. So getting these dudes here is a way better show of what I was trying to convey. Cast that, throw down that, throw down that, then we should have enough shield to just survive. Oh no, what am I losing? I'm missing out on catalyzing shield maybe? No, what am I missing out on? I'm missing out on something. Yeah, you'd be as well, play around with, see what one you like the most. Probably this is what I would put in here instead, actually. Yeah, maybe that'll work better. Yeah, I've got two Vaughans. I got base Vaughn and then base Vaughn and then Prime. And my base Vaughn has got the one for the 3 augment, which I think is really good. So this is the way I think I would do it if I was going the shield version of Jade. But like I said, I've never really played around with Jade that much. Getting the shields back is the most important thing for her though in this setup. Now, to make it even safer, I would drop this, put in this, which looks absolutely crazy. Where is it? You know, this would be the way I'd go to level cap with her. Fast deflection and vigilante vigor. This would be the way I'd go to level cap with Jade if I was to do it. Which I do need to do. Yeah, I've seen they got a buff, but I don't even have him now because I subsumed him off. And I don't have any interest in going getting him, to be honest. They didn't interest me. I'll get them down the line, you know, right now. Look at this. This is going to be the way I'd survive with Jade for sure. Then it's complete overkill. You know, you're never going to have to really worry about survival on just shields. The only thing she'd be weak to would be Toxin. But then you would just pull out your Angstrom and give yourself Overguard. We'll spawn in the Xmas and see how we get on. Yeah, that would be the way to do it. Look, the Hound's giving us Overguard, see? Anytime our Overguard breaks, the Hound's generating it back. So that's why the Hound's fucking brilliant. Look at the Overguard again we're getting. Oh, the Hound's recovering himself, look at that. That's bizarre. So our shield should be pretty good in this setup. Yeah. Compared to, you know, what it was before, this would be the way to do it, I think. And everyone's dying from the Hounds. So yeah, if I go to level cap with Jade, this is the way I'm doing it. And relying on the shield regen here as well, to make it a bit like Caliban. Who else could we talk about? Garuda, another brilliant one. Oh yeah, the Sirius and Orion buff, yeah. Dalgif, that's another fantastic frame. Stupidly enough, I put Jade Stars on them. When I shouldn't have, I should have put Roar on them. Dagger's brilliant. I might go play around with her a little bit. I need to go give her back her roar. Yeah, I love Daggers. That's the first frame that I seen released. So when I joined Warframe, I was playing in the tail end, the last few days of Clervo, not really knowing anything about it. Then the Daggers update came out, and I seen, all right, okay, we get a new Warframe every couple of months. That must be what it is. Where is it? So, Calx and Bile. So the times I took Daggers to level cap, I had a breeze. She was very, very easy to take the level cap. I'm running out of stuff. From all that fucking testing I done with Jade Stars. Oops. Still need Bile. Thank God I do a lot of Void Cascade, that's why I've got so much Bile. Right, you know, I replaced this because we don't really need it. It is nice. If you were going to go no Helmuth, you know, it's nice. But I replaced that. Wait, is it that I replaced? Yeah, the augment for the 3 is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this gives you shield gate, which is nice, but I think I'm going to keep this one and replace the 4. Oh, we're gonna replace the 1. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it like this. So this is the way I took her a level cap. So half the mission you're immortal. Literally half of the mission you're immortal. Completely immortal. And then you've got a cooldown in your 3, which you can easily reset. So, you know, you've got a cooldown in your 3, which you can easily reset by, what is it? So we've got this here, Spectral Spirit, Immortal, and then we can, you know, Doom kills outside of Spectral form, reduces its cooldown. So, you know, 1 second, and a few kills with a 4, a few kills. Yeah, it's very easy to survive as her this way. You're just immortal half the time. So this way here, you know, we shouldn't have an issue surviving or killing anything in the game. We should get through this really easily. So where is it? Where's my... There we go. So take this. So we'll go Overguard for Panic. Take this as well. And we'll take our Trusty Hound. And then we'll go show them where the gameplay loop I liked with her anyway was this. Where is it? We're going to somewhere tougher, like Selkie maybe. Still need to get that fucking Tenet Quanta. I wouldn't bother to get the Tenet Quanta because I didn't see a point in getting the Tenet Quanta when you know, the Quanta Vandal done just as good. Probably better, to be honest, the Quanta Vandal, because it didn't have a nerfed Riven. So yeah, I would always say that the Quanta Vandal right now was the better choice. So I'm not bothering to get the Tenet one until its Riven gets buffed. No, I might be a bit rusty and die like an idiot here and eat my words on how good she is. Yep, I need energy. Get our energy up, then we'll be golden. Nice, I'll have to look that up. Thank you for telling me that, because I absolutely love these obscure channels. But once we go into her 3, we'll be pretty much golden. Get Doom on these enemies. Oh shit, we definitely need some energy. What is going on with my energy management here? Maybe I did have viral on her before. I don't think I did though, because she's already got built-in viral damage, so I don't think I bothered with viral last time.
Life support incoming.
Right, there we go. Now the ball's rolling. So now we're immortal for the duration of this. Completely immortal. We can spread doom on everybody. We've got roar. We've got 17 more seconds of immortality. And then when we want to reset it, we cast the 4 and look at the damage we do. Yeah, it was our 1, but then you also get viral and doom, I think. So maybe it was the 4 I replaced last time, only looking at it. Doom kills, and then we can go back on our 3. Yeah, we need to. We can go back on our 3 now, but we need to maintain this energy a bit better. Yeah, that was my issue. Should have replaced the 4, I think. You're right. Now we're getting some energy now. Back into here. That was one of the Maximus I should have scanned.
Life support on the way.
And that's us back on our 3. That's the start gameplay loop. So once I got the energy ball rolling, we're fine. I think the 4 was good because it gave us iframes. Yeah.
Life support has arrived.
I think the 4 was good because it gave us iframes, but if I'm going to rely on catalyze and shields, I don't need the 4. I really don't need it. And that's the gameplay loop that I had before. So I am best to just, replace the... replace the 4. You're right. And that's the way I should do it. And that must have been what I done in my level cap video. I'll need to go back and look at the footage. Yeah, because I can just survive off casting the 1 and the 2, so I'm going to replace the 4. That's what I need to do. This is definitely not running as good as it used to run. Right, there's that Xmas. Where is he? Where is he going? There we go. Got one of them. Where's this Surge Xmas? Go on, I need a couple in the scan. One there. Got one there.
The operative has just made their first
I'll jump out and I'll fix.
Keep up the good
I'll
work.
go jump out and I'll go in
Extraction is ready.
a disruption with Baruch Afflictions and see how I get on. And then I'll get my scans in there.
Running out of time. Consider extraction.
Did they come pre-scanned? Did they? Oh, brilliant. Maybe we need to see how mind control next works on them. Nice. I'm going to grab Baruch and I'm going to go into a disruption limb instead of get on. And the problem with this is obviously you can't lift the Demolist with Desert Wind.
Saddle up.
Cascade up now, is it? I'm going to play Cascade if it's up. We take this Baruch to level cap if it's up. Motherfucker. Not up. Might come up in 27 minutes though. To see how this damage does, this afflictions damage does against the Demolist, even though they can't be lifted, which is unfortunate.
Operator, incoming transmission. It's from Fortuna.
LFA selling the latest in asset security. Conduits. Put the key in.
Same as Vauban's Flechette Orb can't really damage these Demolists, which is a bit annoying as well.
Something happens to the conjure before you can pull the goods.
I wish it would apply the lifted status effect for afflictions, but it didn't need to, stop them running towards the conduit, then that would make it a bit fairer, because then they would at least take the added damage from afflictions, because they take influence damage, they take exposure damage, so why not allow them to take the 6 status effects, but still allow them to run around? And not be actually lifted, just takes the actual 6 status effects. That would be far better, I think.
Sold the conduits with interference routines specifically designed for the killer. Weird. Conduit keys are carried by high-ranking mucks.
Need some. We're at dangerous low levels of energy, so we need to get some energy up. Then we can do our thing. There we go. And we've got our DR, we should be fine. And big groups of enemies to cast our 2 on, and then the ball's rolling. Energy. Need energy. We should be good now. The minute they're lifted, boom, dead. Ridiculous.
First key. Right. Find a matching conduit.
Right, let's see how we get against this Demolists.
Hear that beeping? Demo unit's on its way.
Come on, we need energy. We need to wear down this restraint. Watch this, we're going to run out of fists before he gets here. There we go, right, try this lifted. heat damage on him. Oh, he died. Relatively easy. He didn't get afflictions procced, but he still died pretty easily. They're really lacking energy though. Yeah, full energy, then we'll start the rigmarole again. Getting out of energy. Give us some Maximus. There we go. Right, we should get some energy now. Perfect. Right. Lull these guys. Get rid of this asshole. Where is he? Lull them. Now we've got the ball rolling. Into the 4. Past the 1. And now things are taking shape. Took long enough. I get this restraint down even more though, because sooner or later it's going to be needing redone. Of course, purple's over there. Again, no energy. Why are we having such fucking energy issues? What is going on?
Demo units looking to depart this mortal coil and take you with it. Keep it clear of that conduit.
And go back to the drawing board with this and get more energy management, I think. Kind of wanted Nourish to be active in this. And he still dies. Yeah, definitely have a look at energy management for this. I never usually have an issue with Baruch's energy, especially when I hit the level cap. It was non-existent issues with the whole build. We need to go and give him some more energy management. It's all critical damage. Yeah, right. We've got equilibrium, so what was going on here? Strange. Very strange. She not had any energy issues with that. We'll go over here and see if we can take Baruch and one of these. Honor. I need to grab my juice off the headboard. completely vanished.
All set? Felomir and Minerva are ready when you are.
Perfect, we've got Baruch. Fenmore, there we go, Phantasm, Stalta. Magistar. It's a pretty busted setup for anybody. Revenant, Stalta, Dual Toxicist, and Magistar. You couldn't really ask for much more. What we've got? Exterminate, Excite. Okay. So we'll give him Stalta, we'll give him the Lato. Yeah, you can join. I'll invite you. Should be able to do all this. Nice one. Good. That's my back. I had some stuff at the door to deal with there. Right, what's this here? Crit chance. Oh, that Baruch should need this. Should be completely fine with that. I need to sell some stuff. Swap that. Put that in there maybe. Eventually put lethal momentum in there probably. Right. Hound should be fine. Okay, is that everything?
You don't have to keep up with the science jargon, you know.
Should be fine with this then.
Got a set of crisis events lined up for you.
Shield recharge delay. No, that's disgusting. That's horrible too. So it's probably going to have to be powerless, which is horrible. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure after a couple of days, these things switch around and you get different options. I'm positive you're right about that. I've had that happen to me as well, that I've looked at something at the midnight reset and then I went back in the morning and I've got different options. It's very bizarre. So I'm ready when you are. Hopefully we'll get 2 more people to join us because it can be a bit of a nightmare with just 2 people. The Legacite won't take extra heat dots as well because afflictions won't proc on him because he's immune to being lifted, which is a bit annoying.
Like Cody's favorite place up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cody.
No problem. Hopefully get 4 people to join us, or it might be a bit tricky. If not, we can just re-roll it till we get 4 people. Actually, what is our game modes? Are they quite easy game modes?
My 10th grade science teacher tried to fail me because
Harvest, exterminate. We might be alright. Hang about here until a few more people join. Oh, we got a third now. Oh, we got a revenant. We're sorted. Can't die now.
Hello, Kaya.
Should be alright.
Leading Hellscrub towers ahead. We'll proceed as if that's the plan.
To be honest, 3 of us should do this. No bother. Shouldn't be a struggle. $50 kills is a bit annoying though. 46 now. Should have maybe went the electric Magi Star for this. Oh shit. Four kills. It's 7, and the ball's rolling. Right, sorted. Into this fist though, of course. Of course that happens. The minute we get these fists rolling, we should be fine. Keeping this restraint down is a bit awkward when you go into, you know, 4-player game modes when there's not enough enemies for you to sustain your fists. That's when things can get a bit pear-shaped for Baruch. That's why I'll probably spend a bit of time over here trying to get this down, and then come over and help out with the Legacy. If I get down to halfway, I should be fine for the rest of the mission. Oh, this is not the leg side. I thought we were in the leg side right now. Always thought that reactive storm, when you get 10 stacks of magnetic, it procs electric. I was hoping that for Excalibur or Baruch we could have just modded them for magnetic and modded influence in it as well. Hoping for the magnetic to proc influence on its 10th hit, but it doesn't seem to do it. Where the hell is this? Right through this way. Where the hell is it? This thing here? Okay. If we can lift him, he'll die straight away, hopefully. The heat dots are really taking shape now. 8 combo. 10 stacks of 6 stacks of heat, 6 stacks of viral, 6 stacks of magnetic on every enemy. Then it being spread by the hound on kills too. Revenant's running around in his 4. Oh yeah, that'll give us a lot more strength, will it? Both of us. Still kind of hard to gauge these dots, like we were saying, because they die before we can actually see how much damage we do. And a lot of these syndicate medallions, it's handy. 9 million dot there. 3.2 million. 10 million. We use light slams as well. Massive AoE. Which hopefully DE won't nerf soon. Yeah, Max Stark's Nidus is just immortal. I remember when I first got Nidus like 2 years ago, before he was as good as he is now, and I thought his concept was really cool. He was just lacking something, and now they've really put him in his prime now. He's so good. These light slams are so strong. Millions of damage in a light slam without any investment in slam. Look at that lift. And you could heavy as well, but it's just nowhere near as strong as the light slams. Again, overguard from Dante. The complete overkill in survivability with Nidus, Dante, Revenant. Are we lifting him up? No, we're not. He's dead though. Die from the heat. $11 million heat. What I like about this Afflictions as well, every element that Hound puts on these enemies, then we lift them to take 6 more. The fact that all the rooms basically primed up, the minute you get one lifted kill, all that status effects are going to hopefully spread everywhere.
Objective met. You sure this is worth it, Velasco?
Are you sure that hair is still in style, Minerva? Look, This is tricky, and I'm figuring it out as I go, so cut me some slack.
Did you build that hound, or are you using it now, or have you still got to finish off building it with the former?
Fun fact, Legacyte ancestral memory runs across multiple timelines. Nobody knows how they do it.
So I get to round them up and
Nice.
through their brains. I guess it's honest work.
You should come on some of the level caps that me and Aqua do, Baron. I don't know if you've played much Void Cascade, but honestly, once you get the grasp of shield gating, anything's possible. It's super easy once you get into the shield gating of it. I don't even know where the slip pie is. I don't even use my fist because I can't build it up enough. Next kill. Nice. Oh, it's good fun. First few, if you're not used to it, then the first few, take somebody really reliable like Revenant or somebody that's going to trivialize survivability, you know, then just focus on learning the ropes of running room to room and capturing the exilizers and defending the exilizers. And honestly, once 2 or 3 turns, you know, I recommend anybody that gets into it take Revenant for the first time, so you simply do not need to worry about surviving. You know, just strictly focus on the actual mechanics of the game mode, and then once you've got that down, then start exploring other Warframes. That's what I done. I think my first Shield Warframe that I tried after Revenant was Mag, and then I think after that I went into using Rhino and relying on Overguard. And once you've done that, surviving with Overguard, surviving with the likes of Revenant, and surviving with the likes of Shield Gating, then the rest of them should just fall into place quite easily. I think Titania is a very popular one too, because she can just fly to the top of the room and the enemy's AI can't really target her, so you have a really easy time with her. Garuda as well, you can just go invisible. Zaku, you can just go invisible and use your guns, and then you're gonna have an easy time with them as well. Zaku actually becomes one of the best because after like after you get to about level 1000, his guns just automatically kill everything with one hit. It's kind of ridiculous. Garuda as well, she steals so much health with her first ability that, once you get to a level 1000, you're going to one-tap the whole room effortlessly. So I can't maintain these fists to try and use it on the demo list. Try to wear this down. I'm not getting the strain down enough. I hate these rooms, they're so confusing. And again, I can't use my fists. I know where the bad guys are. Lost the fist again. Yeah, the shadows, the way that, I seen that video last year, and a friend in my clan done it and sent me screenshots of how much damage he done. You're completely right about that. That the way that the damage from the shadows scale up to about a level 1000, then Necros will just start killing everything automatically. His clones will just start killing everything. It's really funny. I need to try that still. I think you need a lot of strength investment to get to that level though. 200 strength or something. And then he'll be able to one-shot everything. I think Protea is pretty good as well, but some people say her the cannon she's got, the heat damage falls off the higher the level gets. Oh yeah, nice. Also, Protea has to rely on not having anybody have auger mods and brief respite, or it kind of resets her survivability from her first ability. But then you could just go catalyze and shields and not worry about it, and have her first augment just generate shields and rely on catalyze and shields. Then go all strength and kill everything with your turrets. A bit of grouping with the Nautilus, cast your turrets, and the heat dots there should kill everything. Plus, I showed it in the simulacrum that if you put secondary fortifier on the epitaph, get one shot off on an enemy with overguard, then cast your turrets, all heat damage from your turrets will then proc overguard for you. Because it's inheriting that heat inherit, and it's thinking it's getting the damage from the epitaph over the turrets. So it procs overguard on you, which could be quite reliable in higher levels. If you've got a room full of Xmas and you're just casting the turrets, they're automatically firing at them, automatically overguard gating you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. You may as well just use the Hound. The Hound will periodically do it when, it's not consistent, but a lot of the times it'll do it as long as there's Xmas in the room and the Hound's casting his abilities. You'll quite often get overguard. Enough to keep you safe. 35 million heat proc there. I just can't keep the fists active because of the sparse enemies to kill. But the damage is definitely there. Oh, come on. He's not getting this restraint bar down at all. Oh, well, hammer it is. The hell are they? Here. $57 million is doing nothing to these people. It's ridiculous. It's just not even scratching them, really, is it? They've got so much damage reduction. Hard to even see them. It's best that we kind of mark them. Is that in there? Oh, is that him? Yeah, that's in there. There we go. Now we can kind of see him better. I know that Valkyr can basically one-shot these guys easily. So that heavy attack there with heat seemed to do a lot more damage than the hammer was doing. So maybe they've, maybe D's nerfed the hammer damage against these guys because, I've seen Valkyr heavy attack them and they die with one hit.
What are we doing? Oh yeah, next experiment.
We're probably sick of everybody just taking a hammer and then one-tapping them because I know they used to die super easily to the hammer. I hope they give us some new companions in the update because they feel very stale now. We've got the Houndin, we've got the Diriga, and we've got the Smita and that, but I would absolutely love if they introduced some new companions, some new types of hounds, or some even new hound mods, or some new sort of mods for the Diriga and new mods for the Nautilus, because it would really change up some builds again. That sort of thing is what keeps this game fresh. New companions would be absolutely brilliant. Most brain dead thing in the world is slamming this hammer. Hurry up, let me use my fists. Here we go. On, Baruch, get your afflictions out. There we go. Now we're going to do millions of damage. Keep this bit of strength down and we'll be golden. Sparse enemies. What's that heat dots there? Yes, the hammer I brought because I thought, oh, save me if I can't get my fists active. And lo and behold, can't get the restraint bar down, there's not enough enemies. There we go, might get down a decent chunk now. I just want to see these heat dots tick for millions again. What? Lifted him up, but he died before we could really see the tick.
Hey, Skuldra, you could have just gone home and left Ovania in peace. But you had to show here, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing with the. That's what I was thinking of doing with the new Eximus. If Nyx could mind control them, and I know that the more damage they accumulate, the more damage they can actually do. But I remember there was a blood altar build where you would blood altar them and stack the damage up, and then mind control them. And D had to nerf it because it was damage capping all over the map, and I think people were complaining about it. I can't remember exactly what it done. I need to ask Aqua what it done, but it was something like you mind controlled enemy, then you use Garuda's subsume, and the thing was doing like 999999999 damage constantly. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a way to do it. But there was definitely a certain synergy with Garuda's subsume in that. Oh yeah, you could definitely once it scales up to level and you just shoot them a few times, they're gonna take ridiculous amounts of damage. There was some sort of way to nuke the whole map though, because I think when you released the damage on the Garuda subsume, it done a AoE nuke or something like that, and that's why they nerfed whatever that was. They didn't nerf Nyx's ability, they nerfed this subsume interaction with Garuda and Nyx. Well, that's us done.
There's a serious indifference cavity forming in early November.
Finally got my fists loaded, but end of the mission, so we can't really see the dot damage we're doing unless we get some lifts on the enemies here. But they're all going to die before the dots tick, that's the problem. The heat damage is just too much, and now I'm stuck. Being nerfed this interaction, yeah, definitely. You definitely get crazy levels of damage. It was the same when they had Blood Altar Varuna. They nerfed the Blood Altar for that because people were Blood Altering an enemy, jumping on them with Varunas to hitting them with the Harmony, then releasing the blood altar, and I think it just damage capped the whole entire room. Where the hell's that guy? Oh, I thought there was somebody else missing. Not a bad haul, was it? Got quite a lot of good things this time. A hot shot and Fallout. That was a pretty good week, was it that?
Hey, Paradox. Still with the lingering bubblegum.
Wish we could buy more of these a week. It's not really fair if you've got a lot of these things built up. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it did. Did I? No, no, I left the shields one.
Make sure we get a gold star on each one. Dude, I'm so glad it's... How's your collection coming?
I just wish we could buy more than one of these a week.
Whatever.
But I got some good stuff. Oop. I'm happy enough with that, to be honest. I've got enough stuff in the game. I've got hundreds of shards. You know, I'm never really going to use until there's like 20 more Warframes released. You know, I've got enough shards to do a heap of new releases. Right, I think I'm going to call it a day. That was a pleasure, Baron. I'll see you later on. Cheers. Yeah, Nyx is a good weapon platform. I've had a lot of good level caps with Nyx with complete safety. Just a very, very safe Warframe. I'm going to jump off. I'll speak to you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.